I want to recount a few things about accounts receivable, then give you a demonstration of where accounts receivable comes from. A lot of y'all assume that when you buy something from the store, use a credit card, that goes into accounts receivable for the store. It doesn't. That's a cash transaction as far as the store is concerned, because they get paid almost immediately by the credit card company. Most accounts receivable are created from business to business sales. So at a company like Home Depot, which does a lot of business with contractors, Home Depot gives the contractor 30 days or 60 days to pay. And so the contractor can buy their stuff and then pay for it 4 to 8 weeks later. How does Lowe's make money on stuff like that? Lowe's and Home Depot both, they build that into the pricing. So there's either an explicit charge, which we looked at a little bit in I believe it was chapter 6, where you're doing 210 net 30. Without getting into the details, they know how to do stuff like that. And you'll find out as you go through your business career that there ain't no such thing as free credit. So they do go out there and figure out a way to actually squeeze an extra nickel. If by nothing else, they just raise the price of the product. All right, so accounts receivable is basically a loan to your customer. And let's see how that works. This is a company it gives their customers 4 weeks to pay, okay? So the beginning accounts receivable in week 1, it starts at 0. We just opened our doors and we sell $8,000 worth of stuff on credit. That's good. And collections is 0. So the ending accounts receivable, you take the beginning accounts receivable, add any new credit sales, subtract any collections, and there's your accounts receivable at the end of the first week is $8,000. Well, the second week we start with that same 8,000. Let's keep this simple and we'll just do the same level of credit sales all along, and collections are still 0. Okay. So what's happening over here is this company is increasing its accounts receivable, and they give everybody 4 weeks to pay. Okay, in the 5th week is where they will actually collect on the credit sales from 4 weeks ago, which means that at some point in time, the money coming in and the money going out will match up. So in this example, you've hit steady state. The amount of money that you collect in week 6 was the stuff you sold in week 2. The amount of money you collect in week 7 is the amount you sold in week 3, and so forth. So you can see your accounts receivable will actually plateau as long as your sales are staying exactly the same. Okay? Well, let's look at this a little bit different. Let's look at sales that we're going to increase at $1,000 a week. So that number plus $1,000. Notice that it grows and keeps on growing and growing faster simply because you're always collecting from what you sold 4 weeks ago. Okay, so you're selling 12,000 this week, but collecting only 8,000 of sales going back to the other week. So that's one reason that you see accounts receivable growing, is generally if your credit sales are growing, your accounts receivable are going to be growing as well. All right. Etch it into your shoulder, into your forearm, though. Get your tattoo. Beginning accounts receivable, add credit sales, subtract collections. That'll give you the ending accounts receivable.